Dear friend, did you ever attend a rock concert as a teenager? Maybe you stood a little too close to the speakers, and by the time you went to bed that night, your ears were still ringing. But by the time you woke up, the ringing was gone. Now imagine for a moment you're a U.S. Marine. Day in and day out, you're subjected to the firing of guns and loud explosions. Think about the effect that would have on your ears over time. It's no surprise that more than 50% of U.S. military personnel complain of noise-induced hearing loss after they leave combat. So it makes sense that the U.S. military would want to find a way to solve this problem. And that's what I want to tell you about today. Because the U.S. government has been testing a secret all-natural compound on its soldiers. And many researchers are now saying it may be the biggest breakthrough in hearing loss since the invention of hearing aids. And here's the most shocking part. It has nothing to do with surgery, nothing to do with those clunky hearing devices that the enemy could see miles away, and nothing to do with controversial drugs. Shockingly, the U.S. military has seen incredible results with just a single, all-natural compound. They've been surprised to discover that high doses of antioxidants may prevent hearing loss. A single nutrient has the power to improve your overall hearing. And U.S. and Swedish soldiers have all seen incredible improvements in their hearing, even after being exposed to loud noises for decades. It's clear that this natural substance has the potential to relieve the hearing problems soldiers suffer with. So imagine what it may be able to do for you. Constant ringing in the ears, trouble hearing voices in a crowded restaurant, always fiddling with the volume on the TV until your neighbors are ready to call the police. These things could all be a thing of the past if you're willing to give me a few minutes of your time to show you how this breakthrough works. But first I should introduce myself and why I've been so wrong about hearing loss. Hi, my name is Dr. Eric Wood, ND. I'm a naturopathic doctor, and I've devoted my professional life to finding alternative and natural ways to help my patients find better health. My journey into natural health breakthroughs has taken me all over the world. I've studied at prestigious universities such as Harvard, as well as top medical schools in Canada and Europe as well. I've been asked to share my insights on programs on Fox, NBC, and ABC, as well as a breakthrough documentary on Netflix. That's all exciting stuff, but what I'm most interested in is seeking out the truth and figuring out what's really causing the biggest health problems that people face every day. It's this mission that has led me to giving my clients natural alternatives to their problems, so they're not stuck paying high prices and taking unnecessary risks with their health. But here's a confession I must make when it comes to hearing loss. Like many others, I was convinced nothing could be done for hearing loss. I too was among the thousands of health professionals that thought hearing loss was just a part of getting older, and that repairing it or reversing it just wasn't possible without things like expensive hearing devices. So when I heard that the U.S. military was testing something completely natural on soldiers, I dropped what I was doing to find out why. I wanted to learn everything about what was going on in this study. After all, if there was any group that suffered hearing loss at a high rate, it was soldiers. And what I discovered will shock you, because it turns out you can treat age-related and noise-related hearing loss naturally, and I'm going to prove it to you. I promise you that it has nothing to do with hearing aids or implants that people can see from miles away and make you look and feel old. Nothing to do with controversial surgeries that cost a fortune and come with major health risks. And absolutely nothing to do with harmful drugs. Instead, the secret I'm about to reveal to you is 100% natural, and has been reviewed in studies that I'll reveal to you in a moment. Not only that, but if you stick around on this page and keep reading, I'll show you how you can get your hands on it for pennies a day, instead of the thousands the U.S. military pays for it. But before I reveal what the U.S. military did to restore hearing in their soldiers, I first need to tell you what causes hearing loss in the first place. Inside your ear are over 15,000 tiny little hair cells. Over time, these sensory hair cells become damaged, but for decades scientists couldn't figure out why. They knew that age and loud noises were the two biggest causes of hearing loss, but it wasn't until recently that they began to discover how and why this happens. You see, for the longest time, researchers thought that loud sounds damaged those tiny hair cells. The big vibrations caused by standing too close to a speaker at a concert, or spending years with loud machinery caused those hair cells to die. and they'd never come back. There was just one problem with this theory. Millions of people seem to suffer the same type of hearing loss even if they didn't have exposure to loud noises. It seemed to happen to them just as a part of getting older. So the researchers knew there must be something else going on. And there was. You see, while loud noises and age are two things that contribute to hearing loss, it turns out a big reason why this happens is because of something called free radicals. Free radicals are tiny little molecules that live all throughout your body that form because of something researchers call oxidative stress. These tiny little molecules can wreak havoc all throughout your body, but inside your ear they're particularly dangerous. Remember those 15,000 or so tiny hair cells you have inside your ear? Well, these free radicals cause damage to them, and over time they begin to die. And since all sound is processed through those tiny hair cells before being passed on to your brain, you lose your ability to hear over time. Now, this discovery might sound like bad news if it's the first time you're reading it, but this was truly an amazing discovery for the future of hearing loss. Not only did they finally have a clearer reason why this type of hearing loss happens, but they were excited because doctors already know how to treat, repair, and reverse damage caused by free radicals. It's done with powerful natural antioxidants. And here's the really good news. Several exciting studies show that in many cases, certain antioxidants not only repair hearing loss, but could even reverse it. Now you might be a little skeptical. After all, hearing loss is serious, and you've likely been told that once your hearing starts to go, it can't be repaired. And I don't blame you, because it wasn't until I started looking into antioxidants that I even thought this was possible. In fact, most doctors still don't think nutrition has anything to do with hearing loss. But I'm going to change all of that with what I'm about to reveal to you. There are now many studies that show how antioxidants are beneficial for hearing. Some of those studies have proven that damage to your sensory cells can be prevented by antioxidants. It works because those antioxidants are able to prevent free radical damage by binding to free radical molecules and rendering them harmless. But here's what's really special. There is one antioxidant in particular that can actually relieve ear and hearing problems, and even improve your hearing as you age. It might just be the most important antioxidant for your fading hearing. In my research, it quickly became clear that there was one antioxidant that stood head and shoulders above anything else for hearing loss. Let me introduce it to you now. It's called glutathione, or GSH for short. Glutathione has been studied time and again for its ability to fight free radicals. In fact, it's so powerful it's been referred to as the mother of all antioxidants, and it's an absolute must for good health across the board. Glutathione supports the activity of the liver and helps neutralize dangerous toxins. It bolsters the immune system by helping the body create white blood cells that fight harmful infections and viruses. And where it really shines is it prevents those pesky free radicals from doing damage to brain and nerve cells and hair cells. But there's one big problem with glutathione for your hearing. In your body, glutathione is created naturally. But as you get older, your body no longer produces it like it used to. Even those in good health produce 30% less glutathione by age 40. And by the age of 65, almost 50% of your GSH levels are gone. So you might be thinking, great, I can just supplement with GSH and solve my hearing problems. But it's not quite that easy. You see, once your GSH levels are low, it's hard to get what you need from a supplement. You could get results from a straight IV injection, but that's extremely expensive. So what is the next best option? You've got to get your body to start producing GSH like it used to. And it couldn't be easier. Researchers have recently discovered a single nutrient that, once inside the body, triggers an avalanche of GSH in your cells. And that's what's caught the attention of the U.S. military. How the U.S. military plans to end hearing loss for American soldiers, and how you could take advantage of their discovery in the comfort of your own home. Thanks to all of the studies done on antioxidants and hearing, researchers have stumbled across a single compound that triggers a cascade of GSH in the body. It's called N-acetylcysteine, or just NAC for short. And so, to prove their hypothesis that hearing could be improved naturally, they tested NAC on a group of the population that suffers hearing loss at a higher rate than anyone else, U.S. soldiers. This was no small study either. It was a 6-month trial, and they used it on 1,000 active Marines at Camp Pendleton in California. The soldiers were undergoing rifle training, so you can just imagine what a semi-automatic rifle at close range will do to your hearing. They were exposed to more than 300 rounds of M16 rifle fire at close range. 600 of the Marines were given the NAC at every meal during the trial. The other 400 were given a placebo. The result? 70% of the soldiers using NAC saw greater hearing protection. The researchers were stunned as the results were even better than they had hoped. And not only did the group with NAC see improved hearing, they actually had reduced hearing loss in the ear closest to the source of loud noises. And yes, it gets better. NAC also shows good promise for other hearing problems. Things like symptoms of acoustic trauma, balance disorders, and tinnitus are also improved. And remember those thousands of tiny hair cells that are responsible for the clarity of your hearing we discussed earlier? The researchers also found that those Marines had less hair damage and less ringing in the ears, too. On its own, the study was eye-opening for me and my team of researchers. But it was just the tip of the iceberg. Other countries had heard about the study and decided to test it for themselves. Countries like Sweden, who gave it to soldiers who had suffered hearing accidents in the last 5 years. And while the results of this study were not as large as the one in the U.S., the Swedish soldiers who took the NAC still saw 40% improvement in their hearing protection. NAC has been so effective at preventing and protecting against hearing loss that researchers continue to order study after study. Another American study found results similar to those in Sweden. Once again, 37% of those who were taking the NAC saw significant hearing protection. It's clear that NAC is an effective and safe nutrient that supports and protects against some forms of hearing loss. But you may be wondering, how do you get your hands on it? Well, that's one of the main reasons I've written this report for you today. Not only did I want to give you accurate, unbiased information about your hearing, but I also wanted to put in your hands what I consider the easiest way to protect your hearing naturally. Armed with all this clinical evidence about NAC, I contacted a team of researchers at the health company PureHealth Research. They're an American company founded right here in the United States. And instead of outsourcing everything, like most companies, they've built a team of experts and researchers doing great work right here on American soil. Like you and me, the people at PureHealth Research were fed up with being sick and surrounded by chemicals. They were fed up with paying an arm and a leg for Big Pharma's Band-Aid solutions that just mask symptoms and leave you sick inside, which leads to disease. And they were fed up with watching their loved ones, family members, and friends stricken with these illnesses and diseases. Since their story and mission was so similar to my own, I felt that they might be the best people to help me achieve my goal. So when I reached out to them, I was originally just looking for someone to point me in the right direction. But when I told them I wanted a pure, highly concentrated, quality source of NAC, and that I wanted it in the same amounts that were given out in those military studies, they came back with bad news. Nothing like that really existed on the market in the form I wanted. Plus, they told me, if I really wanted to create something powerful for natural hearing support, I would need other nutrients that were beneficial for promoting hearing health. At first, I thought I'd have to look elsewhere to find what I needed. But then the folks at PureHealth Research simply suggested, why don't we make our own formula? And that's when a light bulb went off. With my years of experience as a natural health researcher, I already knew exactly what needed to go into a hearing support formula. And with the dedication to quality and access to the ingredients I needed, plus the facility to create it in, our partnership was born. Together, we've developed a remarkable science-based formula designed to support and restore the health of your hearing on multiple levels. I'd like to introduce you to it right now. It's called Hearing Support Formula. First and foremost, hearing support is built specifically with powerful, potent, and precise amounts of the NAC compound I've told you about. It was crucial that we built this product around a high-quality source of NAC with at least 250 milligrams. That matches what was used in the military studies I already told you about. But there's something important you need to know about NAC. NAC by itself isn't enough to solve all your hearing worries. It does wonders to help promote the creation of powerful antioxidants like GSH inside your body. And since we know antioxidants are proven to fight hearing loss naturally, It's a great first step. But if you want to truly safeguard your hearing so you never have to worry about it again, you also need a few other supporting actors known for their power to heal and promote better hearing. That's why we've added 7 other nutrients to hearing support that are all proven to support healthy hearing. Let me introduce you to them right now. Supporting actor number 1, vitamin B6. Most people know that vitamin A is good for your eyes, but vitamin B appears to be the hearing vitamin. B vitamins are powerful nutrients in the fight against free radicals, those pesky little things we already discussed. Anything you can add to your system that helps to reduce free radicals will have a beneficial effect to your hearing. And since B vitamins like vitamin B6 have been proven time and time again, that's why we made sure it was among the powerful nutrients inside this formula. Supporting actor number 2, folic acid. Folic acid is known as a supreme hearing protector. In 2010, Australian scientists showed that people with low levels of folic acid in their system were 65% more likely to suffer hearing loss. This happens because of a buildup of something called homocysteine in the body. Enter folic acid, which has been shown to help rid the body of this nutrient and protect your hearing. It's proof like this that made it a no-brainer to add to this formula. Supporting actor number 3, niacin. Another crucial factor in hearing loss is getting proper blood flow to the ears. Niacin, yet another one of those powerful B vitamins, is great at promoting blood circulation. It also has properties that have been shown to protect the nerve endings inside your ears. Supporting actor number 4, green tea extract. Green tea is known around the world for its health benefits, but most people don't consider it a hearing protector. Turns out it's a great source of antioxidants, one of which is called EGCG. In studies, it's been shown that EGCG has the power to protect those little hair cells inside your ears, as well as protect against noise-related hearing loss. Supporting actor number 5, Ginkgo Biloba. Did you know that one of the biggest complaints of hearing loss actually isn't just a loss of hearing or volume? It's ringing in the ears. Commonly known as tinnitus, if you suffer from it, then you know just how frustrating it can be. You can't concentrate, it's harder to fall asleep, and you're irritated all the time. It's enough to drive you insane. This is why we've added the nutrient Ginkgo Biloba, yet another powerful antioxidant that has several studies showing how it helps and supports your hearing. In my research, I found no fewer than 11 studies that tested Ginkgo Biloba for ringing ears. One of those studies stood out. 100 people were given Ginkgo Biloba every day for 3 months, and every single person in the study experienced less ringing in the ears. You can see why I insisted that this nutrient also be included in the hearing support formula. Supporting actor number 6, garlic bulb extract. One cause for hearing loss is infection. Garlic bulb extract has been widely used against ear infections throughout history. And since it's very beneficial to healthy immunity, it just made sense to include in hearing support. Studies show it also has protective benefits against long-term noise damage as well. Supporting actor number 7, olive leaf extract. Loaded with polyphenols that help support healthy immunity and fight damaging free radicals, it also helps protect the brain and nervous system functions from damage. Plus, it's considered an effective enhancement for heart health and the circulatory system. In the end, after reviewing the science behind each and every one of these supporting actors, it became clear to me that I couldn't put together a hearing support formula and leave them out. That's why we've added high-quality forms of these nutrients into each and every bottle. And here's what else is important. The more hearing support is used, the better chance you have at protecting the future of your hearing. Now, I don't mean you should take as much as possible at one time. That would be irresponsible. But based on all the facts you've seen on this page, it just makes good sense to keep your system full of nutrients and antioxidants that support your hearing health. Remember, your body loses antioxidants over time, especially GSH, which is crucial for protecting your hearing later in life. And age does play a factor in your hearing. I don't want you to have to worry about any of that, which is why I've made sure that the folks at PureHealth Research have done something completely different with hearing support. All of their equipment and machinery is state-of-the-art and uses the leading technology available. And for most companies, this would be enough, but not for them. Hearing Support is also 100% GMP certified, USA-based, vegan, gluten-free. Now you might be thinking that doing all this extra work to ensure quality would cost the folks at PureHealth Research a heck of a lot more than other supplements. And you'd be right. By sticking to my strict guidelines to make the purest forms of the ingredients I wanted, plus adding in the costs of their own high standards during the product creation process, and they're easily paying several times the cost their competitors have to pay. In fact, if you were to add it all up, a single bottle of Hearing Support should cost somewhere around $120 per bottle. But like I mentioned, I've been helping people naturally revolutionize their health for years, which means I also know that people like me and you are just not going to pay that sort of price. And you shouldn't have to. So here's the good news. If you want to get your own supply of Hearing Support, you're not going to be paying anywhere close to $120 per bottle. Sure, they could pocket this savings to pad their bottom line like many companies do. But since PureHealth Research is committed to providing high-quality products at affordable prices, they've decided to offer Hearing Support at a no-brainer price. You're being given a special price. Get a 1-month supply of Hearing Support for just $49. That's 60% less than what they should be charging. Listen, this is a great place to start if you're new to Hearing Support. And because you're willing to take the risk, I'm willing to reward you with big savings. And it doesn't stop there. I've made sure to put together 2 other special price packages for those who want to stock up on Hearing Support. The first is the 3-month Hearing Support package. This is the next step up from just trying it out. With 3 bottles of Hearing Support, you'll have 3 full months' worth of the nutrients and antioxidants you need to support and improve your hearing. And since you're saying yes to an extra amount, I've convinced PureHealth Research to knock even more money off the price today. The 3-bottle package will only cost you $39 per bottle. But that's not all. I'm also making a 6-month Hearing Support package available for those who don't want to worry about reordering every month or risking the chance that Hearing Support might sell out. And there's one more reason why this offer is also a no-brainer for you today. Every purchase of Hearing Support is backed by a hassle-free 365-day money-back guarantee. Look, I know how hard it is to earn someone's trust today. People are more skeptical than ever, and with how many bad actors there are out there just looking to make a quick buck, you should be skeptical. So I'm not asking you to say yes today. I'm simply asking you to say maybe. Thanks to this money-back guarantee, all you need to do to get started is place a single order on this page. Then when your Hearing Support arrives, simply start taking it every day. In about 30 days from now, you'll be able to tell if it's working for you or not. If it works, great. Keep taking it or come back to this page to restock your supply. But if it doesn't work, just call the incredibly easy-to-talk-to folks at the PureHealth Research call center. Tell them you want your money back. They won't ask you a single question. They'll just process your refund on the spot. But that's not all I'm offering you with your purchase of Hearing Support today. When you say yes to Hearing Support today, I'm also going to give you 2 extra 100% free bonuses worth $39.99 each. Listen, it's clear by reading the proof on this page that the right vitamins and antioxidants can make a real difference in the health of your hearing. But it's hard to know which ones to take, how often to take them, and where to find them. So that's why I wanted to include everything I know about vitamins that support healthy hearing. When you purchase Hearing Support from this page, you're going to get access to 2 completely free bonuses. The first one is a free guide called The 7 Most Important Vitamins to Improve Your Hearing. You're already getting what I think are the most powerful natural ingredients inside the Hearing Support formula. But did you know that there are many different vitamins found inside your health food store that can protect you from future hearing loss? It's true. And I've laid out 7 of them in this easy-to-read ebook from PureHealth Research. They interviewed me to get the exact same things I recommend to my clients and packed it into this ebook. These are things outside the norm that you likely won't hear from your doctor. Instead, they're alternative ways that I've seen work firsthand, and they don't take any more effort than just a few minutes a day. This bonus is yours completely free when you purchase Hearing Support today. But that's not all I'm including. You're also going to get something completely unique called How to Communicate with Hearing Loss. Now, you might be saying, I already know how to communicate. And that's true. But have you ever wished you had an easy way to explain to others how they could make it easier to communicate with you? After all, hearing loss isn't like vision loss. People with vision loss typically wear glasses, and the rest of the world accepts that as normal. But when you suffer from hearing loss, it can be hard for people to tell. And while it might seem normal for you to ask them to repeat themselves or speak up, they often view you as rude or not paying attention. That's why I put together this guide called How to Communicate with Hearing Loss. In this guide, I've covered 8 ways you can make it easier for others to communicate with you. You'll find that once people know you're dealing with a hearing issue, they become much more accommodating to your problem. These 10 different steps will show you the easiest way to signal to someone that you've got some hearing loss, and how they can help make communicating easier. This way, you won't constantly have to ask them to speak up, and you won't have to pretend to hear them when you didn't. You won't pay anything for this, as it will automatically be included in your order for free. So by now you may be wondering, can restoring your hearing naturally really be this simple? The answer is yes. The science behind hearing support is clear, and you can be confident that all the ingredients inside of hearing support are from clean sources. But there's something I must warn you about. Hearing support is made in limited quantities. Hearing support is a new formula that we're making available in order to keep the price of it as low as possible for as long as possible. We've decided to produce it in small batches. This way we don't have mass amounts of it laying around, taking up inventory space and costing more money. Big companies have the capacity to do this, but they almost always pass those extra costs on to you. That just doesn't make sense to us. So the good news is that when you order today, you know you're getting a product from a batch that was recently created, and you're getting it at the lowest price possible. The bad news is we expect to sell out of hearing support regularly. Due to the low stocks and based on the popularity of similar products, we know we're going to run out before the next batch is ready. So if you currently look below on this page and see options for 1, 3, or 6 bottles, then it means it's still in stock. And I suggest stocking up so you've got plenty. But if those options aren't available to you, then don't worry, as we're working hard behind the scenes to get more in stock. I would recommend the 6-bottle option, as many of our customers are taking that approach too. Why worry about having to come back to the page to reorder bottle by bottle every month, especially when you know supplies could run out at any time? Now is the time to make your decision. Please don't ignore the facts you've discovered. I put it all together and created this formula specifically so that people like you no longer have to worry about living life without strong hearing. And it's obvious to me that if you're still reading this, then you know that a change has to happen. Constantly living with ringing or buzzing in the ears, always wondering if you heard the person across from you correctly, and dealing with the reality that you may become a burden to family and friends when they constantly have to repeat themselves to you. That's no way to live. So go ahead and choose from one of the packages below and say goodbye to being left out of the conversation.